This is the second video of a 4-part series about installing and setting up an Amiga Workbench installation in WinUAE. In this, I'll show you how to format a hard drive image, install Workbench, and install patches and other useful software. I've tried to keep command line usage to a minimum. Most of what needs to be done is with Workbench scripts or a text editor. All you need is a copy of Workbench 2.1 and the installer pack from the link below, which is the same for all of these videos. Let's begin. You have a choice between a hard file and a directory for the main drive. First, you'll need to format the hard file. Set an Amiga 3000 in the Quick Start and insert the Workbench 2.1 install disk. Go to CD and Hard Drives and click Add Hard File. Type the size of the hard file you want here and click on Sparse File and Dynamic HDF over here. Then click Create and save it. Click on Full Hard Drive /RDB mode as well. Now you can start the emulation. Open the Install 2.1 disk and open the HD Tools drawer. Click on HD Toolbox and open the menu bar by holding right-click and select Information under the Icons menu. Make sure that SCSI device name equals UAE-HF.device is listed under tool types. If you went through the Workbench 1.3 video, you'll have already done this. You can now open HD Toolbox. Click Change Drive Type and then Define New Drive Type, then Read Configuration from Drive. Click on the drive and click OK. Click Partition Drive. It always sets up 2 partitions on the drive, so click on the rightmost partition and click Delete Partition. Then click and hold on the arrow and drag it all the way to the right. Then delete the U letter here and click OK. Save changes to the drive, and now you can reboot by hitting Ctrl Insert Home on a PC keyboard. Click on the DH0 NDOS disk and go up to the menu bar and select Format Disk under Icons. Change the name of the disk to Workbench and click Quick Format. Restart WinUAE completely and make sure that you've got a version 2 Kickstart selected. Under ROM, you should select New UAE 128K Direct. Under RAM, I increased the Z3 fast to 16 megabytes. Under floppy drives, turn all the drives on. If you're using a hard file, click Add Hard File and add it up here. If you want to use a directory on your PC instead of a hard file, you should set the device name to DH0 and the volume label to Workbench. Regardless, you'll need another shared directory to use the setup pack, so set the device name for that to DH1 and set the volume label to whatever you want. I would suggest using a different directory on your PC for each version of Workbench, due to differences in the drive icon files. Select the directory where the setup pack was extracted to, and unset the bootable flag. Go to Miscellaneous and click on Clipboard Sharing. It may or may not work in 2.1. Then go up to Configuration and save the configuration. Now go to the floppy drives and insert the Workbench 2.1 install, boot, extras, and locale disks. Click Start and it'll boot. Open Install 2.1, then the Install 2.1 drawer, and double-click the language you want to install. Click on Intermediate User. Never click on Novice User for any Amiga installers. It should be set to install to the Workbench drive. If not, change it. Now it'll start copying stuff. For printers, I select Epson, HP, and PostScript, as I believe WinUAE has emulation for those, but you can select whichever ones you want. You can select extra languages to install here. Now hit F12 and replace the Workbench boot disk with the fonts disk and click OK. Hit F12, eject all the disks, and reset. I like to set backdrop mode by going to the Workbench menu and selecting Backdrop, then selecting Snapshot All from the Window menu. Next, open the Workbench drive, Prefs drawer, and then open Screen mode. Switch to Interlace mode, increase the colors to 16, and save. Now open the Tools drawer and then Commodities. Select Click to Front and go to Information under the Icons menu. Click on the Qualifier tool type and change it to Qualifier equals None and hit Return. Then click on New and type Activate equals 1 and hit Return, then save. Now open the WB Startup drawer and move Click to Front into it. This will let you be able to double-click on windows to move them in front of other windows. Now go to the 2.1 installers drawer on your shared folder and run the 01-initial script. Now you can reset. Now you can run the second script. This extracts a text editor, better shell, and adds speech generation, which was removed in Workbench 2.1. Open the Tools drawer, move Emacs over, and snapshot it. Next, open the RAM disk and move REdit over to Tools. Then open the KingCon drawer and run the installer. Type Y here. Then go to the System drawer and run the shell. Type cd locale : then type makedir help. Run REdit and open Startup Sequence in the S drawer. Add assign nil help locale help right here. Save it and then open the user startup. In here, add sys system/rexmast nil at the beginning. Next, type assign con dismount and assign raw dismount here. Finally, delete the K in front of kcon and kraw. Now you can save and reset. Now you can run the third script. Reset again. Now run 04-viewers. Type A whenever it asks you to overwrite stuff. Open the RAM disk, the Amiga Guide drawer, and then the AGV34 drawer. Open Install Amiga Guide. Type Y for this. Open the Multiview drawer. Run the installer. Just keep clicking on Proceed. Open the PP More drawer. Open the Utilities drawer and move PP More over. Open the PP Show drawer and run the installer. At this point, I prefer to install it to the Utilities drawer under the Workbench drive. Finally, go to Rec Tools, Install, and then Workbench 2.1 and run the installer for your language. You can also run the Rec Tools installer if you want to. I forgot to do that when I recorded this. Next, open the Prefs drawer on the Workbench drive. Move the Rec Tools Prefs over. Open REdit, then the user startup file and add CRT-patch to the file. Now open up the prefs and run the multiview prefs. Click Add. There's lots of file types here, but you should just add Amiga Guide database for now. Click on this and then click Get. Go to Utilities and click Amiga Guide. For this one, where it says Visage, click it and click Get. Then select PP Show. Now go to the Default Actions tab. For anything that says More, click Get, Parent, Utilities, and select PP More. And for the one that says Visage, click Get and select PP Show. Now you can save and quit. Now run the 05-magic menu script. Open Magic Menu on the RAM disk and go into 020. Then open WB Startup and move Magic Menu into it. Next, open Prefs and move the Magic Menu Prefs into it. Next, open Tool Manager and go into the Install drawer and run the installer. Type N when it asks about a demo configuration. Reset. You can change how the mouse button would work here. I'd suggest either sticky mouse button or smart select. You can now get a right-click context menu. Now run the 06-random stuff script. First, open WB Startup and move border blank over to it. Next, go to Cycle to Menu and open the drawer for your language. Run the installer. Type Y here. Now open REdit again and open the startup sequence. After the make dir RAM line, type C patch RAM. Now open user startup. Type run nil new obtained GIR port nil. Save and reset. Thanks to border blank, the borders of your screen will now be black. Now you can run the 07-MUI script. Open the MUI drawer on the RAM disk. Go into the goodies drawer and run click for colors. Now the icon colors will show properly. To permanently set it, go to Palette under Prefs and click Save. Now you can run Install MUI. When asked where to install it, select your Workbench drive. Reset. Now open the MUI drawer and run the MUI program. Now go to Open on the menu bar, and you can select a Gadget Display preset. Click Save. Run the 08-MUI2 script. This installs some extra MUI classes and a patch. Reset. Now run the 09-Magic WB script. Open the Magic WB drawer on the RAM disk and run the installer. Type Y here to start the install. Type Y here to install a disk icon to your shared folder. Type DH1: here. Type N here. Type Y here. Click Cancel here, as this should be set properly. Close this. run the 10-extra magic WB pattern script. This copies all the extra desktop patterns. Open REdit again and open the startup sequence. Add C:\nic prefs after iprefs. Save and reset. To save a desktop pattern, go to Prefs and run WB Picture. Click Name, then go to Volumes, Prefs, Patterns, and select a picture. Then you can tile it and save it. Now it's time to set up the dock. Open Tool Manager under Prefs. Click New and type the name of the program you want to run under Object Name. Click this if it's a Workbench program. Click here and select the program you want to run. Then click OK. Repeat for any other programs you wish to put in the dock. Click up here to set the images to use. Click New, enter a name to use. Click this, then go to Volumes and select Magic WB, and then the image you want to use. Click OK. Repeat for any other images you want to use. Click up here until it says Dock, then click New. Call the dock whatever you want. Click Open Position window and move it where you want it. If you put it on the right side, you should make the left side number much larger than where it is. Next, click Edit Tools List. Click New and then click Exec Object and choose one from the list, and then click Image Object and select the corresponding image from the list. Do this for each program. Click OK. Finally, save. The last thing you might want to do is run the 11-tm-magicwb-gfx script. This will extract a bunch of icons and images from the RAM disk, so you can have more variety in your dock images and icons. You should copy dock icons to the Magic WB drive assignment. The next video in this series shows how to do this, but for Workbench 3.1. If you like this, subscribe to my channel, as I've got at least one more installation tutorial video coming up, and see you next time!